In today's breaking story, Donald Trump's night has just fallen apart as his ballroom runs into a big problem. That's right, Donald Trump's little pet project is not looking so promising. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. And don't forget to click that subscribe button if you're also sick and tired of Donald Trump. Now, Trump is such a disaster, he is literally spelling doom for the Republicans in the midterms.
You know, this is a poll that came out yesterday, Marquette University Law School poll, and I don't think it picked up enough coverage that it should have, because these numbers should be truly frightening to Republicans. Why do I point it out? Why do I say that? Okay, Dems versus Republicans on the generic congressional ballot. If you look at all voters, this matches the average. You see Democrats up by 5 points. Okay, that's not a bad position, but it's not as strong as they were in the 2018 cycle at this point. But come over to this side of the screen. This is where it gets truly frightening for the GOP, because among those certain to vote, look at this. The Democratic advantage nearly doubles. We're talking about a 9-point advantage going from 5 to 9 points. And this matches with what we're seeing in other polls, which is huge Democratic enthusiasm, huge. And more than that, remember, elections are not just about persuasion. They're about turnout as well. And what this suggests is Democrats are far more likely to turn out at this point. A 9-point advantage going from 5 to 9. That is A+, 2 thumbs up. Great news for Democrats.
I do want to ask, like, historically, is it unusual at this point in early polling for Democrats to be this enthusiastic?
Yeah, this is why I think this number was surprising to me. The reason it was surprising to me was I went back through the history books. I went back, okay, party more certain to vote by party identification. Early cycle midterm polls. Look at this. In 2006, Republicans said they were more likely to turn out. 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. And then all of a sudden in the 2026 cycle, look at this. Democrats are the ones who say they're more likely to turn out and vote. So this does not match what we see historically. The idea that Democrats are more certain to vote is a new phenomenon and matches with what we have generally seen, the Democratic coalition sort of evolving, becoming more highly educated. Matches with that because more highly educated people are more likely to turn out and vote. And again, this is historically unusual and suggests that there's a hidden Democratic advantage in the polls right now. You look at those polls, you look at those average of the generic ballot, you see Democrats up by 5. That, in my opinion, based upon the Marquette University Law School poll and what we know about this Democratic coalition, may be, in fact, underestimating the Democratic strength going into next year's midterm elections.
This is quite stark, what you are showing here.
But now, Trump's night just fell apart as his ballroom has ran into a big problem. That's right, take a look at this breaking story. President Trump's night just fell apart as his lavish new White House ballroom is now at the center of a major political firestorm. What was supposed to be Trump's signature legacy project has abruptly turned into what one top Democratic senator is calling a golden crime scene. Senator Elizabeth Warren is demanding a full federal investigation into the private donations behind Trump's planned $300 million gold-filled ballroom. In a statement to The Guardian, Warren urged the next administration to follow the money, warning that the financing of Trump's project may have crossed legal lines. She stressed that the statute of limitations for federal bribery charges is 5 years, meaning there is plenty of time for prosecutors to dig in and determine whether crimes were committed. The project has exploded in both scale and controversy. Originally unveiled in July, the ballroom has now ballooned to 90,000 square feet, with room for up to 1,000 guests, making it large enough to dwarf the main White House itself. Trump insists it is fully funded by private donors, and those donors include some of the most powerful corporations in America, such as Apple, Amazon, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, and Google. Reports also suggest donor names may be etched into the walls of the building once construction is complete. The watchdog group Public Citizen announced that roughly 2/3 of the 24 well-known donors had government contracts before committing to Trump's project. Critics say this looks like a textbook blueprint for a pay-to-play operation. Warren says the entire situation reeks of influence buying, which is why she teamed up with Representative Robert Garcia to introduce the Stop Ballroom Bribery Act. The bill would sharply restrict private donations and prohibit contributions from any entity doing business with the federal government. The White House maintains that everything is above board and that donors come from what it calls a wide array of respected American companies and generous individuals. But Warren is not backing down. She argues that the American people should not have to wonder whether the president is building a ballroom or constructing a massive gold-plated venue for political favors. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.